Based on the information they have, they could wait it out, try to establish communication like they're trying to do, or they may just call it a barricaded suspect and just ask for SWAT to respond with the Bearcat, which is a heavily armored vehicle. And in that case, as Chris Christie said, they could use that vehicle to block this vehicle in and get a better vantage point from the front with officers using cover behind the armor plating of the vehicle.
How many of those vehicles are in the vicinity, for example? How long would it take to get an armored vehicle over here?
It could be a matter of maybe 30 minutes or less. They'll respond code 3 with lights and siren. They're centrally located throughout the city of Los Angeles, not giving away any tactics or locations, but they respond pretty quickly. And obviously those officers are on call 24/7, and they usually have teams working night and day side operations. So they would respond pretty quickly once the request is made by the supervisor on scene.
Okay.
And would there typically be a canine unit among them?
Oh, yes. Anytime SWAT deploys or SCB deploys, a canine is part of the deployment package. And both the sheriffs and LAPD and other agencies have canines on duty all the time. So I'm sure the request has been made for a canine. Whether they might have been at training today and they have to call them in from home or not is unknown. But the canines would respond also pretty quickly.
We're seeing video now on the right side of the screen that was taken earlier when Chris Christie was over before it came to a halt at that 7-Eleven parking lot. You could see just now that vehicle, the lights going back on, but the driver had turned them off for a while, maybe thinking he could get away from police, but that of course was not the case. And then you'll see him here, I think it is, pulling into this parking lot where there is a 7-Eleven and some other businesses, a restaurant among them. And a number of people inside those businesses have come out to check out the scene. So that is a concern as officers try to keep them back and keep them safe. And then across the street, there is another crowd that has gathered. And Chris Christie, maybe you can describe for us how this is, if it's grown or not, or if it's the same, or more people coming out?
I hate to say it. I think this crowd has actually grown just a little bit, which is just not what you want to see, obviously. Those folks that were in the 7-Eleven appear to have backed off a little bit. A handful of people next to the 7-Eleven, but that crowd across the street has certainly gathered a little bit further to the east now. And here comes a possible arrest team to get eyes on that suspect, at least through the passenger window with their shields and guns drawn. They may move in on him here. We'll see what they do. There's an arrest team behind and another team directly out the passenger window that you can see clearly in this shot right here. So some movement now as they approach the vehicle, wondering, in my mind, and I'm curious if Bruce has any thought on this. Look at them backing away now. Okay, maybe they see some movement, and that may be why they're backing away. I was just about to speculate what made them decide that it was a good idea to take that moment to approach the vehicle. It may have very well just been to get better eyes inside the vehicle possibly, but whatever they saw, they didn't like it, and they've now quickly moved back, both that arrest team on the right side as well as the group of officers that were coming up from behind. So you see them now strategizing, and I would love to hear what Bruce thought about that right there.
Yeah, Bruce, were they just trying to open the door, or do you think they just got there, found the door was locked, and backed off? What do you think? Bruce Thomas? I'm not sure if Bruce is still with us. You know, something as I was watching earlier, our video of the vehicle coming to a stop, I don't know if I saw brake lights as it came to a stop in the parking lot.
Maybe we can re-rack
Maybe we can re-rack it. And I'm just, at this point, I'm just curious as to the reason for it stopping in that location. Did it run out of gas? Is there some way they can disable these vehicles remotely? Or, you know, was there some other reason, or did he just apply the brakes and I just miss it? I don't know.
Hey, Fred,
Bruce, are you there?
Yeah, what it appears is they deployed a spike strip on the rear tires, and that was the approach.
I see.
So there is a spike strip deployed in front of the rear tires, so if that vehicle moves, they are going to get the spike strips into their tires.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart move. He's not going to get very far, or at least he'll have flat tires if he tries to go anywhere.
Now, they approached the car, they put the spike strip out, and then they quickly backed off. Do you think at this point that they might be calling in the SWAT team? You know, they obviously didn't want to follow through and try to open up the door or anything.
Yeah, Michelle, I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a response by LAPD SWAT. You're going to see a Bearcat, at least one, show up to this. You're going to see some canine units responding, and they're going to reposition and relieve the regular patrol officers of their positions. But that is going to take some time. And as you can see, there's a huge drain on the resources of not only the Rampart area that responded, but also LAPD North Hollywood and possibly Van Nuys.
What are they doing now? It looks like they're trying to get a better look at the driver. Are you seeing this, Bruce?
Yeah, it appears they're just trying to get some good visuals.
Oh, they just look like some glass just shattered
yeah, it
on the
looks like
passenger
they're
side.
deploying a non-lethal shotgun round
Okay.
to break the glass and possibly force this person to get out. Or
Oh, there he goes.
Boy.
There he goes. There
Yep.
he goes.
There he goes.
Yep.
Continuing the pursuit now, going north on Coldwater Canyon, and there are two officers at the end of this intersection. Hopefully, oh my goodness. Okay, they've backed off, and now he's really booking.
Wow.
I've got to tell you, as this pursuit has now continued, there's a second pursuit that's coming this way. LA County Sheriff's Department has initiated a pursuit in WeHo that ended up on the 101 freeway that's just passing Lankershim, coming this way as well. So I just want to give you that little bit of background that we're following simultaneously as this pursuit continues right through that red light there, northbound on Coldwater Avenue past Sherman Way here. And all of those officers in that 7-Eleven parking lot have to quickly get back in their vehicles and continue this pursuit. You can see the night sun coming from overhead. That's LAPD's airship, which has been doing really tight orbits this whole time during the duration of that little mini standoff. And once that officer approached the vehicle or approached that light pole, and it looked like he may have been using that non-lethal rifle, that's when he basically spooked the suspect, and this guy just decided to take off. You saw that, and you see just how fast he was going on Coldwater, now going a little bit slower on Satakoy Street. So he's now going east, and when he actually took off, it looks like that spike strip actually succeeded in disabling that left rear tire. I can't tell you for sure whether that was successful.
Chris, hold on 1 second. We're going to hand it off to Jimmy Kimmel Live is next on ABC 7 on television. We're going to continue our coverage on our ABC 7 app and on abc7.com.
And we are continuing now our live coverage, and this pursuit suspect is now giving up. And Chris Christie is over it in Air 7 HD. What a dramatic end, Chris. That spike strip really played a huge part in this.
It really did. You saw he took off at a rather fast clip there on Coldwater, but he wasn't able to get very far. That left wheel started giving him some problems because at one point you saw that team approach the vehicle, that decoy team, while another officer put that spike strip underneath, and it succeeded in flattening that tire. And so once he made that right on Satakoy Street, it looks like he just decided to pull in here. He thought better of it and is just giving himself up. So this Grand Theft Auto suspect now about to be taken into custody, while another pursuit is playing out simultaneously right now off of the 101 freeway. That suspect has exited at Lankershim, so at some point we may actually drift over there, but for now we're going to keep our eyes on this suspect, and hopefully they will be able to take him into custody without incident.
This would be the third pursuit of the day, I believe, if we've been keeping count. And the one that's approaching in the North Hollywood area would be number 4. This pursuit ended kind of a long standoff. I think everybody kind of relaxed because he was just sitting there. And then when they blew out those rear windows, that was when the suspect just took off. My theory about having run out of gas was completely blown out of the water. And then the person took off and continued for a short time. But, you know, they deployed that spike strip, Michelle. What a difference that made.
They did a really good job with that. And now they're going to clear the vehicle. They're checking to see if there might be anyone else inside. this Metro supervisor's vehicle that was somehow commandeered by this individual who has now surrendered. Looks like everything is under control and no one was hurt during the course of this pursuit. That's great news. Chris Christie, we thank you for your coverage and we thank everyone for tuning in here on our digital platform, abc7.com.